So once again we make our return to this fantastic Tunbridge circuit. The reason we're here? Well, it's a regional restricted event and it means it gives an opportunity for many riders to show what they can do on this fantastic circuit. We've got a combination of 3 lots of different sidecars. That's the 500 Continentals, that I like to call them the Kent style left-handers, and of course the big 1000cc right-handers. Tremendous class in all of them. Add to that, we've got pre-75 solo with some excellent riders from the past. We've got 350 solo, 500 solo, and added to that class, great to see him back out there again. I'm seeing Martin Goodwin in action on a 500 solo on this fantastic boarded circuit. Now we know we've got a lot of races to get through. There's a lot of qualifying heats, and what the riders will be conscious of is that they can afford, with 4 heats, to make 1 mistake. 3 good rides will get them into that A final. Now I know that's going to go wrong, now I've predicted that, but they will get to those big finals at the end of the day. We've got a lot of racing to get through, and we know that this track does produce fantastic racing.
The pre-75 and a lot of experience coming to the line. Malcolm Simmons, Tony Davey, joined by Frank Yates, Dave Norris, Brian Bassett, Peter Baker, Chris Hendrickson, Maurice Jones, Ian Guthridge and Mike Bowden. So a lot of names from the past. Those of you that have been around Grasstrack and Long Track and Speedway even will recognise a few of these names, I'm sure. Great to see they still keep this machinery going. And I did have to point out to somebody earlier on this morning, it's the bike that's pre-75, it's not the rider. So the start line by the look of it. And it looks as if he's got no clutch. Is that what he's indicating? Just let him go and I'll catch him. So that's going to add a little bit more interest to it then, because it looks as if Malcolm isn't able to join them on the start line. He's hoping that the starter will let them go at the optimum time as he comes round travelling in the same direction. And they dive into that first turn. Chris Hendrickson, I can see in second spot at the moment, going around the outside and trying to get himself with a nose in front, but that's denied as they go down the back straight. Rush from Malcolm Simmons in the blue leathers, white helmet coming through already. He's up into about 6th place, but there's a good scrap at the front as well. And this, the only race of the day, is headed up by number 3. But he's certainly under pressure. Chris Hendrickson tucked in behind him and Chris following him all the way around, the long way around that bottom turn. Malcolm Simmons is now up into 4th place. And it's all getting very, very tight at the front of the field as they come off that top end. It may be pre-75, but it's certainly still fast and furious. Well, Peter Baker is the rider who's taken the inside tight line. Chris Hendrickson and Tony Davey preferring to go on the wider lines. And Malcolm Simmons trying to get all the way around the outside of them, but again you can see he's being attacked from the inside as they've got 1 more lap to go. Malcolm Simmons does now get his nose in front. Peter Baker is the rider that's still there in second, who's preferring to take the much tighter lines on the inside. And Chris Hendrickson still battling away on that wide line. But it's Malcolm Simmons that was last off the start line. He's worked his way through, got himself to the front, and as we see our first checker flag of the afternoon, it's Malcolm Simmons that takes it. Peter Baker in second, Hendrickson in third, and Tony Davey, the early leader, in 4th. It's the pre-75 class, and it's a win first time out for rider number 1, Malcolm Simmons. He's followed home in second by number 22, Peter Baker. Third place goes to 43, Chris Hendrickson. 4th place, number 3, Tony Davey. And 5th place goes to 115. 6th place, 17. 7th place, 18. And the winning time, 134.34. 134.34. And a speed of 56.89. So they're averaging 56.89, the pre-75. We now move to race 2 and we change class. We move to the left-hand side cars. Line-up as it's printed in the programme. It's not Neil Cuff who rides 128. We don't see him in this particular heat. But it will be Martin Cuff that rides. Paul Grayson riding number 8 as Ken Jarvis in the chair. Not John Grayson. I think that was in fact Steve Maitland that was on the outside gate but found himself being forced to drive across the line of everybody else. They fortunately sorted themselves out as they got into that first bend, and that does look to me like Steve who's trying to get round the outside on that top bend for the first time. So back past me they come, and it is an early lead that's been set by outfit number 27. That's Clive Holland. Fish. But as I say that, Tony Penfold's moving around the outside of him, and I've missed the fact that Steve Maitland has got himself to the front. Tony Penfold now in pursuit though as they go down the back straight. Steve Maitland and Dave Hollands then holding the lead, try to keep it tight on that top bend, working extremely hard on an outfit, but they know they've got Tony Penfold in contention with them. Tony Penfold and Carl Bell then sitting in second, looking to try and get the lead. Steve Maitland and Dave Holland. Well, the early leader dropping back in that third place. And already we go into the last lap, and it's the outfit of number 1, Steve Maitland and Dave Holland. Still in second place, or third place I should say, but second place with Tony Penfold, number 25. And Tony's not been able to make a real challenge on that lead, as we're now going to see the checkered flag out for them this time as they come round. It's a terrific start of the afternoon for number 1, Steve Maitland and Dave Hollands. Time we see the left-hand sidecars, and it's a win for rider number 1, Steve Maitland and Dave Hollands. In second place, number 25, Tony Penfold and Carl Bell. In third place, number 27, that's Clive Holland and Steve Fish. And finishing in fourth place, number 19, fifth place, number 8, sixth place, number 81. The winning time was 143.15, and the speed averaged 52.03. So 143.15 the time, 52.03. You should have had for race 2, 1, 25, 27, 19, 8 and 81. So we make a change once again, and we now move to the 500cc sidecars, which I like to call, rightly or wrongly, the international class of sidecars, because they do spend their lives competing and travelling across Holland, Germany, France, etc., because this is the continental style of sidecar racing that has been adopted by all those countries. And I'm pleased to say that whenever we see the European Championships, we always have extremely good representation. Out for the first time this afternoon, we've got number 33, Rob Wright and Roland Meredith, Tony Stark and Darren Wood, Tony Cook and Ronnie Stewart in a chair for him this afternoon, Andy Kerrison, Lester Goodwin and Clive Willis. On the inside, it is Starkey that's got to the front as they go into that first turn. Clive Willis, I can see, back in first spot. Lester Goodwin on the inside though, he's the one perhaps to watch as he goes up that back straight, looking to try and get a position going into the top turn to get himself in front, but Clive Willis has seen a gap on the inside of him. He looks to come through as well. Tony Stark has got the lead and looks like holding it into that bottom turn. They go once again. And Clive Willis in that second spot, looking for Lester Goodwin once again. He's moved up into third place. But as they come off that top turn, it is and Andrew Stevenson comfortably to the front. And number 1, Clive Willis. And Mike Simpson sitting there in second spot, but at the moment watching the Goodwins move away from them. One more lap to go for Lester to take his first win this afternoon. He's now got his own little battle on because he's under pressure from third place Andy Kerrison. Andy and Steve Ashby trying to close as they move up the back straight, looking for second place. And is there problems for Clive Willis? He puts his hand in the air. Andy Kerrison, it means he's going to get second. Clive Willis hoping he's still there to get some points as they come to the line. So that's very, very disappointing for them for the first race of the afternoon. And we see the 500 sidecars for the very first time this afternoon, and we see a win for outfit number 3. That, of course, is Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. In second place, number 8. Terrific battle from Andy Kerrison and Steve Ashby. Third place, the early leaders, number 23, Tony Stark and Darren Wood. Fourth place, outfit number 33. Fifth place, number 1. Sixth place, number 10. And the winning time, 1:33.55. 1:33.55, averaging 57.37. So out of the first 3 classes, it's the 500 sidecars that look to be going, on average, the quickest around this circuit, 57.37. We now move to race 4, and we're with the 350. So a class change once again. Remind you that there is no number 16 Bob Dolman. His place indeed being taken by reserve 303. And 303 is Daniel Berwick. So some very, very quick 350 riders. Richard Smith, number 33, watch out for him. He's got a very wide starting gate. Richard it is, has got to the front. He's got Vince Kinchin there with him though in second place, and he hasn't got too far away from him. As they go down the back straight, they start to sort themselves out. So as we watch them come round past me for the first time then, it is Richard Smith that's got the early lead. Vince Kinchin, Adam Smith, the new British champion in third place. A good scrap going on up front as Vince Kinchin looks like he wants this early win. Well, certainly looking to get a much tighter drive out of the top end, and he looks to have got his bike. So can Richard Smith respond? He's moved clean away from the rest of the field, but a great scrap is turned out between them. Vince Kinchin trying to consolidate now as he goes up the back straight. Gets the drive on quickly. And that really was a terrific ride he had around this top bend. He looks to have found himself a very, very quick and comfortable line. Richard Smith still sitting in second. Adam Shipp still sitting in third, but he's under pressure from Craig Smith. And I should mention that out for the very first time this afternoon, Craig is in fact 21 today. So a great way to celebrate your 21st birthday. I won't go into the detail of how he celebrated last night, but Vince Kinchin takes the win, Richard Smith in second, and a good close finish between in third place Adam Shipp and fourth place Craig Smith. So race 4 then, the first of the 350s this afternoon. First time out for these riders, and first time win for number 8, Vince Kinchin. In second place, number 33, that's Richard Smith. Third place, number 4, Adam Shipp. Fourth place, number 2. Fifth place, number 28. Sixth place, number 37. Seventh place, number 5. Eighth place, number 303. A winning time of 1:26.78. A speed of 61.85. So it's getting faster and faster as we go off the classes today. 8:33, 4, 2, 28:37. 5 and 303, 1:26.78, 61.85, as we stay with 350. And quickly looking to see them sort themselves out as they go round that first turn. They look to be going in there very, very controlled and watching to see what they could perhaps do. Almost using this first heat as a bit of a consolidating practice session, I'm sure, a lot of these riders. But not so sure. The early leader, Lee Bartlett. And it is number 65, Lee Bartlett, that's got a very, very comfortable lead. Keith Webb was the rider that was holding second to him, but he's dropped back into third place now, as it's all changed for second and third. But Lee Bartlett holding very good lead. Ryan Cornelius it is has come through for that second place in front of Keith Webb. And Ryan now trying to perhaps open that gap a little bit between second and third as it's all changing that third place once again. But no denying the man out in front looking very comfortable indeed. That's number 65, Lee Bartlett. got away from the rest of the field. Still Brian Cornelius there in second. It's now Chris Hendrickson moved into third place. And there's our finishing marshal, right for the last of the riders to go past. He'll now look for the checkered flag. And this, the second for the 350 class, is taken by number 65, Lee Bartlett. Brian Cornelius gets that well-deserved second place. With the 350s, and our second 350 winner of the afternoon was number 65, Lee Bartlett. Finishing in second to him, number 48, Brian Cornelius. In third place, number 61, that's Chris Ward. And fourth place, number 45, James Peters. Fifth place, number 52. Sixth place, number 41. Seventh place, 43. Eighth place, 67. And the winning time, 129.98. 129.98. 59.65 the average. 59.65 the average speed. So not quite as quick as the first of the 350s. Let's look to see what happens in race 6, because this is the concluding riders for the 350 class. Possibly look out for Ben Morby. Very distinctive I can also see Julian Phipps in there in about fourth place at the moment. Pick up for you those early leaders as they come round that top bend for the first time. But very quickly they saw themselves out going down the back straight. And setting the pace down past me for the first time is number 71, Jamie Rodgers. Second to him is Nathan Irwin. And Nathan making sure that he doesn't get too far away from him. Our third place rider going very, very wide indeed. David Rodgers won't mind, Nathan Irwin won't mind. In fact, Lewis Denham that's in third place. Lewis Denham looking to be the one that's working the hardest at the moment, trying to find which is going to be the fastest line around this circuit. He's tried the outside, he now tries the inside. And as I say that, Nathan Irwin's gone very wide and Leicester closes right up on him. Lewis Denham accompanies us in third place at the moment. And while he's trying to lock it up coming out of the bend, he seems to lose a bit of speed, but he's closed right up on Nathan Irwin now in this top bend as it's the checker flag this time as they come past. Jamie Rodgers takes it, close to second place. Certainly leave that one to our lap scorers and track marshals. So the third heat of the 350s turning out to be the quickest as we see a win in race 6 for number 71, Jamie Rodgers. In second place, number 83, Nathan Irwin. In third place, Lewis Denham, and that's number 81. And of course in fourth place, number 611. Fifth place, number 150. Sixth place, number 90. Seventh place, 119. No 8th place finisher there. The winning time was 126.37. 126.37. 62.14 the average. 62.14. As we now move to the first of the 500 solos. It's fast and furious this afternoon. Race 7 it is. Not seen him on the Grasstrack scene for a long time. Speedway, yes of course, but Martin Goodwin riding number 1. No more saying Mitch Godden has made it to the front. Pursued by Andrew Appleton in second place. But it is Mitch Godden that's setting the pace as they go down the back straight. Andrew Appleton though closing up on him all the time. The two of them together as they come round that top end. Oh, this is terrific. See here at Tunbridge. Kinchin trying to stay in contention with those front two. But Mitch Godden for the moment losing out to Andrew Appleton as he's now got himself to the front. Mitch Godden still there though in that second place. Vince Kinchin in third. Martin Goodwin in fourth at the moment. So how long will it take Martin Goodwin to get used to this circuit? Well, Andrew Appleton has certainly been showing us what he's capable of on the speedway circuits. Has been down here at Tunbridge before at the bonfire burn-up last year. And you can see that he obviously enjoys this circuit as he now goes into the last lap, leading quite comfortably from Mitch Godden. Martin Goodwin. Number 10, Dave Rumsey, still there in contention. But the gaps really have opened up and the speed's going to be very interesting because Andrew really does fly around this circuit. He's got his first win this afternoon, so I'm sure he and the pit crew will be pleased with that one. We had some very, very quick 500cc competitors, but wait to hear the time and the average speed for the win in race 7 for number 4, Andrew Appleton. In second place, number 9, Mitch Godden. In third place, number 8, Vince Kinchin. Fourth place, number 1, Martin Goodwin. Fifth place, number 10. Sixth place, number 15. Seventh place, number 2. Eighth place, number 12. And the winning time, 120.90, 120.90, they were averaging 66.34. So, a very, very quick time indeed, 66.34 the average speed in 120.90, as we now look at a race 8. Can anybody go quicker than that, as we've got coming to the line, the very, very quick David Howe I've spotted there, number 20. Well, he had a terrific ride down here earlier in the year at the Battle of Britain. Richard Hall, number 30. Mark Giles, of course, I shouldn't forget, number... The pit gate is shut. Problems for Gary Hayward by the look of it. He pushes the bike off into the centre green, so he's not joining the riders as they come to the line. Once again the start. Mark Giles has made the best of the starts. David Howe is tucked right in the middle of that bunch of 5 riders as they go round the first turn. He now dives up the inside and gets himself up into third. Second, and to the lead, all in one move as he goes around that top bend for the first time. David Howe it is that gets the front of Hazard. Number 26, Mark Giles is right there with him and he's not letting him get away. Well, Mark cuts back in on the inside of him, tries to stay in touch with him as they go down that back straight. This is certainly going to be fast. David Howe pushed all the way by Mark Giles in second place. 30, Richard Hall, head down as he goes into that bottom turn. It's a terrific start for Richard as he tries to get drive out of that bottom turn and up the back straight. Sits up as he goes into the bend and then it's leg trailing action all the way around that top as he's now looking to try and push the second place. Once again he goes in tight, keeps the leg trail as he holds it tight on the inside of that bottom turn. Mark Giles knows he's there now. He knows he's got to keep the speed on. So whilst David Howe has got away, there's a real battle for this second place as David Howe takes the win. Is it going to be Richard Hall? Is it Mark Giles? Mark Giles gets it. Race 8, it was a very, very quick win indeed for number 20, that is of course David Howe. In second place, number 26, Mark Giles. Third place, number 30, Richard Hall. Fourth place, number 41, Darren Rolfe. And fifth place, number 17. Sixth place, number 47. Seventh place, number 24. And the winning time, 120.77, 120.77, 66.45 he averaged. So 120.77 the time, 66.45. As we now go over the page, we stay with 500cc solo, race 9 in your programme. they can go into that first turn. Problems on that first turn though, as we lose 2 riders going into the bend. Oh, both of them up quickly. Well, there had been a red flag in the interest of safety, of course. And as they sort themselves out on that first turn, well, it looks as if Gareth Hickmott has joined this heat, because obviously we lost a rider then. He was in the list of reserves. He's out there racing at the early lead, taken by number 16. Rob Broad in second place. Thomas Cooper in third place at the moment. He was the one that put it down in that first bend, we believe. He's got himself back up though, and he's battling with the best of them. Well, around off that top bend we come. Gareth Hickmott trying the long way round. John Forward still keeping an eye on the early leader, Steve Green. But there's a bit of a gap there between first and second place. Thomas Cooper still with that third spot. He's got a bit of ground to make up if he's going to make a challenge for second. Just one more lap to go in this race 9. And Steve Green really going to turn it all his own way. Well, as I say, he's had it all his own way. You can see that in second place, it looks to be a bit of a challenge being mounted from Thomas Cooper in third spot. Scott Broad still there in second, but he's gone very, very wide. Tom Cooper trying to come through on the inside. It's not going to be as we contend with third place. And a win for rider number 60, Stephen Green. In second place, number 150, Scott Broad. Third place, number 153, Tom Cooper. Fourth place, number 215, Steve Brayford. Fifth place, number 7. That was our reserve coming in, Gareth Hickmott. And sixth place going to number 74. Seventh place, number 174. And the winning time, 125.86, 125.86. 62.51 was the average speed. So, keeping it fast and furious, we now move to race 10. We see the 1000cc right-hand side cars for the very first time. On the outside of him as they go round that first turn. Paul locks it up in the middle of the bend. Ivor has stayed wide and he's got the advantage as he goes down the back straight. But with Ivor Matthews and passenger Tony Miles, he's got John Halsey at the moment back in 5th place. He's got some work to do. James Rodgers has gone very, very wide coming out of that bend. There is all sorts of problems for John Halsey on the far side. And we've got a red flag being safety. All the outfits slowing down as they come past us. Well, although I haven't heard officially, it looks to me like they've brought out race 11 to the line. That's race 11 in your programme, still with 1000cc sidecars. And Miles Simmons I can see on number 19, Seth Fly on the inside. And that's a name I'm very, very pleased to see back sidecar racing. Number 18, Gary Parmenter and Craig Parmenter. They're all getting very, very keen. Goodwin also getting close to the tape. off that start line, but it is Miles Simmons has got to the front as they go round that first bend. So, Miles Simmons and Dave Hogan are way down the back straight. Seth and Carl Blythe up in second place though. That was a good back straight for them. They were very, very quick down that back straight. Looking to go tight on the inside. Oh, Miles Simmons. Dave's there trying to follow them as well. Simon Wall it is that's there in fourth place at the moment, trying to battle with Dave Steer, and that's getting very, very close for that third place. But still, Miles Simmons and Dave Hogan with the lead coming around that bottom turn from Seth and Carl Blythe. They now look for an outside line, but you can see exactly the problem that's going to give them. If they look for the outside line to go around the outside of Miles Simmons, Dave Steer knows there'll be gaps being made on the inside. Simon Wall pushing Dave Steer along, making him challenge for that second place. Now the decision has got to come from Seth. Does he go wide on Miles Simmons? He knows the risk is he'll leave gaps on the inside. Well, that's exactly what's happened. Both of them have gone through. Dave Steer and Simon Wall have got up in the second and third place. It does look as if there's problems for Seth and Carl as they slow going around that top bend. But can Dave Steer catch Miles Simmons? Miles very much in control, and Dave is very quick on the inside, but Miles Simmons gets it just as they cross the line. And you make sure you put the results in the right place. Race 11, a win for outfit number 19, Miles Simmons and Dave Hogan. In second place, number 17, Dave Steer and John Richards. In third place, number 21, Simon Wall and Mick Stace. In fourth place, number 30, Seth and Carl Blythe. Fifth place, number 18. Sixth place, number 22. The winning time, 129.97, 129.97, 59.65. So, 59.65 it is. We now return to race 10 in your programme. And we see coming to the line once again, number 4, James Rodgers and Damien James. Number 7, Paul Johnson and Jason Gill. Number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles. Number 8 is Paul Bickley, Paul Silvera. We're just anxiously looking to see. We've got no John Halsey and no Lee. Disappointing start to the afternoon for those two outfits, as they're all four together going into the first turn. Ivor Matthews trying to find his way through, but it is James Rodgers that's got the lead at the moment. Paul Johnson on the outside of Ivor Matthews in second and third. Paul Johnson going for the wide line round that bottom bend. He's gone very, very wide. He's kept it on, and indeed he gets close. Well, on this outside, Paul Bickley sees the gap that he's created as Ivor Matthews has got up into second. That Paul Johnson locks it up in that top bend, gets it back under control, looking for third place now as he got on the inside of Paul Bickley. But Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles have got themselves to the front. James Rodgers still there in second. Paul Johnson in third, and Paul Bickley in fourth place. So there might only be 4 outfits out there, but it's certainly been chopping and changing. As again they go down the back straight, and Ivor Matthews looking to now consolidate this one as he goes into the last lap, this time past us. James Rodgers still holding in. Paul Johnson closing on him all the time though. Well, I say he's closing, he goes very, very wide on that top bend then. Oh, he's lined himself up for the back straight, and he's very quick down that back straight. And I just wonder whether he's got too much on going into the bend. It pushes him very, very wide as we see them come to the checkered flag. So, race 10 in your programme. It was eventually a win for outfit number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles. In second place, number 4, the outfit of James Rodgers and Damien James. In third place, number 7, Paul Johnson and Jason Gill. And in fourth place, the only other finisher there, number 8, Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera. The winning time, 126.71, 126.71, 61.9 the average speed, 61.9. So we now move to race 12. We're still with the first leg rides for the 1000cc sidecars. And the last national title that's been won has got to be the best pairs, and we see out here number 60, Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley. They hold that title now with Dave Steer. And I've also got to say that it's Kevin Woodley's birthday today, so if he can't hear me, I can say the Mickey's 101. Very happy birthday. 1660, as they get underway. It is Richard Thomas that's made a very good start on the outside. He's got a long way to go though to get round the outside of all of them. He's almost there. He's got himself up into second place. Oh, I think that's John Hiscock that's got the lead. Confirm that for you as he comes round past me. Pretty sure it is, and indeed it is John Hiscock that's got the lead from Richard Thomas in second. Number 92, Paul Whitelam is the rider in second though, who's got in front of Richard Thomas. Three outfits almost together as they come round that top bend for second, third and fourth. But while all that battle's going on, you can see exactly what's happened. John Hiscock and Nick Walters have got themselves away, and they're looking very strong now. And there's a real battle, second going on between Paul and Mark Whitelam and Ian Lee Amos and Paul Phillips. Well, Ian Lee Amos it is that looks to be battling for that second place. But John Hiscock having a terrific ride first time out. Well, I've seen a lot of him on the speedway circuit. And I think that is perhaps speedway machinery that he's using here this afternoon. And he had a tremendous ride in the last round over at the Isle of Wight. And a very, very capable driver. And he takes the first win this afternoon. Whitelam in second. Ian Lee Amos and Paul Phillips in third. Richard Thomas, Kevin Woodley fourth. Last of the first leg rides for all the classes, and a win for number 184 John Hiscock and Nick Walters. In second place number 92 Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. In third place number 183 Ian Lee Amos and Paul Phillips. In fourth place number 60 Richard Thomas, Kevin Woodley. In fifth place number 62, and in sixth place number 99. The winning time, 127.19, 127.19, 61.56, the average speed. Through the event, they will all get 4 rides, but there's effectively 5 heats. So you will see that there's, in the pre-75 class, 2 riders that didn't get a ride first time out. We know we've got Malcolm Simmons with a win, and effectively they will all miss one of the heats. It all evens itself up at the end of the day. They all know they've just got to get out there and ride as hard as they can, get the maximum points they can from the 4 rides they get, and then we will decide that they go in the final. Sounds simple, doesn't it? And I've just been told that if Tony Knoll, if you're about, if you want to find Kevin, he's now down here where we are. No clutch problem this time for Malcolm Simmons, but I'm sure they all know that there's just been a fair amount of water being put down on the circuit, so they'll all be a little bit cautious going into that first turn. But as they sort themselves out down the back straight, it is Malcolm Simmons that gets himself to the front. He really does look very comfortable in this class, Malcolm Simmons. 122, Peter Baker in second place at the moment, which is exactly how it was last time out. These two did in fact have the 1-2, but you may remember that in the very first race of the day, Malcolm Simmons had problems with his clutch. He had to work very, very hard to get himself up to the front of the field. Not so much of a problem this time. Looking back to third place, we've got number 3, Tony Davey. Oh, that's an improvement on points for Tony Davey. He had a 4th place first time out, so he's elevated himself up 1 place. As Malcolm Simmons now sees the last lap flag. seen the last lap flag, but there is a red flag out on the far side of the circuit. 2 riders down on this top bend. The rest of the riders being brought to a halt, allowing our marshals and first aid officials onto the circuit. Orders race distance, they'd all gone past the last lap flag. That result will stand as they were, but obviously there'll be no times and no average speed. The official result of race 13 is a win for rider number 1, Malcolm Simmons. In second to him, number 22, that's Peter Baker. Third place, number 3, Tony Davey. Fourth place, number 17, Dave Norris. Fifth place, number 174, Ian Guthridge. And sixth place, number 18, Brian Bassett. As I say, no time or speed. That is the official result of race 13. So I'll keep on top of that as we go through the rest of the day, but basically it means that pre-75 solo, left-hand sidecar and 500cc sidecar, they will complete all their heats, but there will be no finals. It will all be calculated on points scored during the heats. So very important that they do continue to put in the results through the respective heats that they're riding in. As we start with 1000cc left hand, and we see for the first time this afternoon number 128 Martin Cuff and Colin Clark. Steve Maitland on the inside, of course, has been out already. He's had a race victory, but it is Martin Cuff that's got to the front as they come round that first turn. So can Steve Maitland make up the ground? One other rider that we haven't seen is also up there in second place. But is that Steve Maitland that's making the break to get to the front already as he comes round that bottom turn? Martin Cuff it is that leads from number 19, Dominic Doyle and Peter Taylor. They're going a lot quicker than they did in their first ride. But Steve Maitland has now comfortably got past them and Dave Hollins. So they close now on Martin Cuff and Colin Clark. Those two again together as they go into that top turn. Steve looks for a line on the outside. He's forced very, very wide, and Martin Cuff takes advantage and gets away from him. Now Dominic Doyle is passed by number 1, 2, 3, Billy Penfold and Will Offen. And still that battle goes on for the lead. Steve Maitland looking to try and make it 2 out of 2 as he goes up the inside. He's found a gap on the inside of Martin Cuff. Now will he drift out wide again and allow Martin to come back? No, he hasn't. That was a brilliant turn from Steve Maitland and Dave Hollins. Into the last lap they go in exactly the position they wanted to be. From that inside gate in this heat, they've worked hard, got themselves to the front. As they go down the back straight, I'm sure we're going to see a similar line round that top bend. It'll be going slowly, allow Martin to close up on you, then keep the power on in the middle of the bend, keep it tight, and head towards the checker flag. That's exactly what they do, and they take the win. Martin Cuff in second place, Billy Penfold in third. With the left-hand side cars, his second win this afternoon is outfit number 1, Steve Maitland and Dave Hollins. In second place, number 128, first time out for Martin Cuff and Colin Clark. In third place, number 123, that's Billy Penfold and Will Offen. And in fourth place, number 19, Dominic Doyle. Fifth place, number 8. In sixth place, number 114. The winning time was 142.72, 142.72, a speed of 52.25. We now move to the 500cc sidecars. And again, they are running under the same format, that they will all get 4 rides. There are effectively 5 heats. That's the best way to describe it. We know we've already seen Lester Goodwin. He goes again. He's had a win first time out. And whilst we had plenty of time to chew the fat, shall we say, during the interval, I was informed that these guys were racing in Holland yesterday. They've travelled through the night, got here bright and early this morning, and having a very, very good day over there in Holland yesterday. Both Martin Goodwin and Lester Goodwin have finished second and third respectively in that meeting over in Holland. Now we get a chance to see number 71, Brian Palmer for the very first time this afternoon. Clive Willis is one of those crews that is not going this time. So he's got to sit in the pits and watch what's happening. Very good start on the inside. Brian Palmer goes after him as they go into that first turn. Now as they come around that bottom corner, it all gets a bit close for second and third, but Lester Goodwin is looking like making this one his once again as he comes around off that top turn. Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens Ryan Palmer and Danny Hogg in second place. Third place with Andy Kerrison and Dave Johnson, and I ought to mention that Dave Johnson in passengers for Andy Kerrison this afternoon, he is out for the very first time as a passenger. So what a way to get used to 500cc sidecar racing. They're again some of the best we've got in the country. And Andy Kerrison working hard, consolidating that third place. Brian Palmer doesn't look to have an answer to Lester Goodwin at the moment. And as that last lap flag is being brought out now for them coming off that top turn, it is Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens keeping the pressure on. Sure that the pits have informed all these riders that there will be no final at the end of the day. It is all about point scoring, and what better way than two maximums from two rides. Well, as they come off that top turn, that does look as if it's going to be two rides, two maximums for Lester Goodwin and Andy Stevens. Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg in second, Andy Kerrison and Dave Johnson in third. Keith Richards and Gareth Bemister finishing in fourth. The 500 sidecars, and it was second win for outfit number 3. That, of course, is Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. Second place, too, are number 71, Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. Third place, number 8, Andy Kerrison and Dave Johnson. And fourth place, number 143, Keith Richards and Gareth Bemister. Fifth place, number 100, and a winning time of 133.36. 133.36 is where it is a slightly different kettle of fish, because there will be 3 second leg rides for the 350s. As I mentioned a moment ago, it will be 3 qualifying rides to get them into the big final at the end of the day. No fourth leg ride. And let's quickly look to see who we got going in this one, because as they come to the line, recognise number 65, who had a win first time out. As they get into that first turn, start to sort themselves out. Lee Bartlett perhaps is the one to look for. Well, they've certainly sorted themselves out as they come around that first turn and up the back straight. Well, it's all about point scoring through the heats to get themselves a place in that final. Oh, Lee Bartlett is certainly up there in second place. He had a win first time out, and this is a much better ride from John Cox. 611 is the number, as John Cox has gone to the front, and he didn't score in his first heat, so he knows he needs maximum points from these 2 rides, and he's going exactly about it the right way. Oh, working very hard, John Cox. Lee Bartlett's still there in second. Ben Morby in fourth place at the moment. Fourth place, and we're saying he's up in the third place, of course. There's a bit of a gap between second and third. And as the last lap flag goes out, John Cox looks over his shoulder, wonders where the competition's going to come from. Lee Bartlett looks relatively comfortable in that second place. Ben Morby in third, Brian Cornelius in fourth. They really have now got very spread out in this 350 race, as we see the checkered flag being brought out. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do in his last ride, because only 2 rides really scoring. A good win for John Cox. So the official result of race 16, it was a win for number 611, that's John Cox. In second place, number 65, that's Lee Bartlett. Third place, number 90, Ben Morby. Fourth place, number 48. Brian Cornelius. Fifth place goes to number 5. Sixth place, 41. Seventh place, number 28. The winning time, 1:30.76, 1:30.76, 59.14, the average speed. So, world-class solo and sidecar lineup. That's a date not to be missed. The 15th of September. With the race program, race 17 it is that comes to the line. We're with 350s out for the second time this afternoon. Number 83, Nathan Owen. Number 4, Adam Schiff. Oh, it's Nathan Owen. I was going to say it got to the front, but that looks like number 71, Jamie Rodgers, has got himself to the front. Oh, Jamie, of course, had a win first time out, so problems on that top end as we lose a couple of riders. Now I can see yellow flags at the moment. We've still got a fallen rider on the track, and red flags being displayed. Obviously, in the interest of safety, we've got a fallen rider on the track, allowing the medical staff to attend to him, and quickly the rider gets himself back up. Up on his feet as we prepare once again for the restart of race. And again you can see on the inside Nathan Irwin has made a very good start. Jamie Rodgers trying to go around the outside of him, though he's gone very, very wide on that first bend, so it is Nathan Irwin that's got the advantage going down the back straight. He indeed leads as they go into the bottom turn. Jamie Rodgers, who I mentioned had the win first time out, in second spot at the moment. Nathan going very, very wide indeed, but he's managed to keep it on. We have again lost a rider on that top end, and once again the red flags have been put out in the interest of safety. So we've now got the girls on the start line with the number boards. We've got the riders out on the circuit. Does look as if we're going to get a restart. And quickly picking up on the riders that have come to the start line. Looks to me like we're going with race 18, which is still a second leg ride for the 350 class. It includes Lewis Denham. It includes Vince Kinchin, Richard Smith, Craig Smith, and I assume that we'll be going back to race 17. So, with race 18 at the moment. Start on the inside. Inside of him, or should I say round the outside, goes Richard Hall. I think that was Lewis Denham that put it down in that first turn. It is Lewis, in fact, that's making his way center green to get out of the way of the rest of the riders that are coming round, and Vince Kinchin has taken up the race at the moment. So Vince Kinchin leading from Richard Hall in second place. And as they go off that top turn, it is Vince Kinchin that's got a very convincing lead at the moment, and Richard Smith, I should say, that's in second spot riding number 33. Craig Smith, the rider who's in fact 21 today. I was informed earlier on this afternoon he's sitting in third place at the moment. Well, one more lap to go for Vince Kinchin, who of course had a win first time out, so he's making it 2 out of 2 at the moment. And Richard Smith still there in second place, but looks as if he's going to have to settle for that as they come off that top turn for the last time. It is going to be a checkered flag, and Vince Kinchin takes it. this one was. The official result reads as a win. His second of the afternoon for number 8, Vince Kinchin. In second place, number 33 is Richard Smith. In third place, number 2, that's Craig Smith. In fourth place, number 119. In fifth place, number 52. Sixth place, 43. Seventh place, 67. The winning time was 128.24. 128.24, 60.82. 60.82 the average speed. So we now move back to race 17. And the riders quickly out of the pit box and making their way to the start line. So a rather depleted field in race 17. Might remind you that Jamie Rodgers, number 71, had a win first time out. Godwin on the inside has got the best of the starts, but he's got Jamie Rodgers with him as he goes round the outside of him on that first turn. Those two start to pull away as they go down the back straight. Jamie it is that's got the lead as he goes into that top turn for the first time. Oh, head down past him, terrific style. He's a very, very quick 350 rider. Adam Shipp in third place at the moment. Still Nathan Owen sitting there in second spot. Not a very much shortened field in this heat, and I'm sure that James will want to keep the pressure on. He knows that Vince has actually been out and had the 2 wins. Now Lee Bartlett of course had a win first time out. He dropped points in his second ride, and of course this format is just 3 rides and then into a final now. So one more lap to go for Jamie Rodgers to maintain maximum points in his qualifying rides. Off the pit bend he goes once more. Terrific style as he gets his head down the back straight. Nathan has no answer to him at the moment, but still scoring consistently in that second spot. As indeed the checkered flag goes. Jamie Rodgers takes maximum points. Nathan Irwin in second place. For number 71, his second of the afternoon, that of course is Jamie Rodgers. In second place, number 83, Nathan Irwin. Third place, number 4, Adam Shipp. Fourth place, number 61, Chris Ward. And fifth place, number 303, Daniel Berwick. 127.82, 127.82, 61.12, 61.12 their average speed. So we look now to race 19, and I'm sure that a lot of these riders feel they've waited a long time to get back out there again. We're with the 500cc solo, and they now of course know that it is only 3 qualifying rides to the big finals at the end of the day. And who have we got going in this one that went well first time out? Oh, number 26, Mark Giles had a second place first time out. Thomas Cooper had a third. Well, as they go into that first turn, well, it is Thomas Cooper that's dropped into second place and looking to go all the way around the outside off that first turn, but he's denied as they go down the back straight. Dave Rumsey is the rider that's moving up on the inside, number 10. And as they break coming off that top turn, they start to sort themselves out. We've got Mark Giles in the lead from Dave Rumsey. Thomas Cooper's up there in third place at the moment. So it is Mark Giles that's setting the pace as he goes down the back straight. And Dave Rumsey trying to stay in contention with him. Mark again goes very, very wide, but he's keeping the speed on. He's keeping in front. It's all starting to get a bit tight, a bit further down the field. Steve Brayford trying to increase his position up the field. He looks to be closing on Mark Giles, so he really has closed the gap from second to first. Thomas Cooper still hanging in there in third place at the moment. Knows there's a gap between him and second, but he's got two other riders close to him looking for that third place as well, as it's going to be checkered flag this time, and it is. Barbara hangs on, and I think just on the line, number 41, Darren Rolfe, had just sneaked his way through into that third spot. But a good win for number 26, that of course is Mark Giles. In second place, number 10, Dave Rumsey. In third place, number 41, Darren Rolfe. In fourth place, number 153, Thomas Cooper. In fifth place, number 215, that's Steve Brayford. Sixth place goes to number 17. Seventh place, number 2. And eighth place, number 60. It's 126.46 the time, 62.08 the average speed. So 126.46, 62.08. So, race 20 we move on to. Second leg of the 500 solo. And without doubt the riders to look for this time. That's number 4. That's Andrew Appleton. He had a win first time out. Well, Mitch Godden, number 9. He had a second place first time out, but he was leading his race at one time. Starts from the inside. Mitch Godden has got his nose in front. Andrew Appleton comes round the outside though, and Andrew Appleton head down looks to get drive down the back straight. He's got himself in front once again. So into the second turn they go, and it is Andrew Appleton that leads from Mitch Godden in second. Following them in third place is Scott Broad. Scott had a second first time out. So he's been scoring consistently, but it's the front two that really are pulling away. As Andrew Appleton looks very comfortable indeed. Oh, Mitch Godden has a look over his shoulder. And as they really do begin to get spread out, we're going to look and wait and see what sort of time Andrew Appleton's going to put up this time, because he really is motoring on. Poor old Mitch Godden knows that he's got to settle for a second place. Maybe he can have a go home in the final. For the moment he's got to accept that Andrew's going to continue to score maximum points, because he really has got away from him. He will go into the checkered flag this time, making it 2 out of 2. That's how it finishes. Andrew Appleton takes it. Mitch Godden gets second place to him. Scott Braid comes through for third place. And finishing in fourth is Martin Sturgeon. As we were with the 500 solos, and it was second time out, second win for number 4, Andrew Appleton. In second place, number 9, Mitch Godden. In third place, number 150, Scott Broad. In fourth place, number 15, Martin Sturgeon. And fifth place, number 611. Sixth place goes to number 39. Seventh place, 189. And the winning time, 122.25. 122.25. 65.25 they averaged. I should correct what I said earlier on about the 500 sidecars having a trip over to Holland. It was Malcolm Goodwin, of course. Somebody told me during the interval that I'd said it was Martin, but no, I don't think I've ever seen Martin on a 500 sidecar. It was Mel that got second, Lester got third over there yesterday. Start on the inside, it is Vince has got to the front as they go into that first turn. Oh, there's head down going all the way around the outside. I pick up that for you as indeed we see them coming into that top bend. I think that's Martin Goodwin that's gone through. Vince has put it down in that top bend. Oh, another rider that tried to take avoiding action has gone out further into the boards. Quickly both the riders are up. So the race does continue. And I'm pleased to see that, in fact, that was Martin Goodwin that had put it down, avoiding Vince Kinchin. He's back up and away again. Well, all that's going on. David Howe has been setting the pace, and David Howe has been pulling away from Richard Hall in second place. And disappointing for Vince Kinchin, who had a third place first time out. He knows that the pressure is on, as it's only 3 lines now. David Howe in terrific style goes into that bottom turn. Really wants to make this one his as he goes down the back straight. He knows that Andrew has put up a very good time, but interesting to see how the time compares with that. Checker flag is made ready, and it's David Howe that makes it 2 out of 2. Richard Hall in second. And a terrific win for David Howe. That, of course, is rider number 20. He takes the race victory and finishing second to him. Riding number 30, Richard Hall. In third place, number 47. And 47 is David Durham. Fourth place, number 74, Robin Pilcher. In fifth place, number 1. Terrific to come back from that fall, avoiding Vince. That's number 1, Martin Goodwin. In sixth place, number 174, and in seventh place, number 12. 121.93 was the winning time, 65.51 they averaged. 121.93, 65.51. So we know that under the new rules that Steve Maitland and Dave Hollands have made their way into the final. They've had 2 rides and 2 wins. But coming to the line in this one, we've got Martin Cuff that's had a second so far. Tony Penfold has had a second. So they'll be wanting to maximise points from this one and get themselves into the final as well. In fact made the best of the starts. He dives into that first turn, but he's got Tony Penfold after him. Already those two have opened up a bit of a gap between second and third, and as they go down the back straight, obviously conscious of the conditions changing all the time this afternoon. It's dry, it's wet, it's dry again, and Martin Cuff holding it very, very tight on that top bend. Tony Penfold sees the gap on the inside. He looks to try and go through it, but Martin has still got the speed on as they go around the pit bend for the second time. Well, I do kind of think that we're going to see both these two out in the final, and I tend to agree with their logic of why they wanted to race against each other in a final. Almost this would be a bit more spectacular than just point scoring heats. I'm sure they wanted the opportunity to race against each other. So, Martin Cuff and Colin Clark, who I'm told normally passengers Graham Hilton, but he's a very busy man this afternoon, so Colin decided to get there and ride to Martin instead. And one more lap to go for them to get the race victory that they want. Tony Penfold and Carl Bell still holding that second place, as they both stream up the back straight. Can't see that these positions are going to change as our finishing marshal gets the checkered flag ready. It is Martin Cuff that takes the win. Tony Penfold and Carl Bell in second, and that's Billy Penfold and Will Offen that get the third place. In left-hand side cars, as we see a win for number 128, that's Martin Cuff and Colin Clark. In second place, number 25, Tony Penfold and Carl Bell. In third place, number 123, Billy Penfold and Will Offen. In fourth place, number 27, that's Clive Holland and Stephen Fish. Fourth place, number 27, Clive Holland and... I've just done that one, haven't I? 27. Fifth place is 114. Sixth place is 81. The winning time, 140.66. 140.66. 53.32. So averaging 53.32, we now move to the 500 sidecars. Start line for the 500 sidecars. Starter not happy with one of our outfits just pushing the tapes a little bit. And he lets it go. Looks to me like Brian Palmer has made a very good start on the inside. The rest of them bunched together in the middle of the turn, but they sort themselves out as they go down that back straight. Now we've only seen Brian Palmer out the once this afternoon. This being the third of the rides for the 500 sidecars. But he knows that's where he wants to be. Second to him is Alan Doherty and Craig Doherty. And as they sort themselves out, really Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg have look to get maximum points from this one as they take a commanding lead coming down past me. Things are getting a little bit closer in that second and third place though. Tony Stark on outfit number 23 and Darren Wood looking to make a challenge. Oh, again you can see they look to make the challenge and they make the pass as they go through in that top turn. All sorts of problems for Alan Doherty and Craig Doherty as they've gone very, very wide. Oh, they've also allowed Tony Cook to come through. Outfit number 10 and Ronnie Seward. They're now pushing on the back wheel of Tony Stark and Darren Wood. So, whilst Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg have got away, there is a real battle on for that second and third place because Tony Cook looks as if he wants it, and I think that Brian Palmer has slowed. He's looking down at the bike and gets the win. And indeed, that was very, very close on the line for second and third place. I do believe it went to Tony Stark and Darren Wood, but certainly very, very close to them was Tony Cook and Ronnie Seward. And second time out, a win for number 71, Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. In second place, number 23, that's Tony Stark and Darren Wood. In third place, number 10, Tony Cook and Ronnie Stewart. In fourth place, number 100, Alan and Craig Doherty. And in fifth place, number 143. Sixth place, number 33. A winning time of 138.06, 138.06. Speed 54.73 is what they averaged. So we now turn our attention back to the pre-75 solo. And effectively we've seen the pre-75 solo twice. Malcolm Simmons, of course, has been absolutely dominating this event. But at the moment it's not Malcolm Simmons that gets to the front. He sits in second place, so we are now going to see a challenge, I think, as Malcolm Simmons will try and get himself back out in front. Very, very close on that top turn. It's Tony Davey that he's battling with, and Malcolm Simmons just noted in front. Tony Davey now in second place. You can see Morris Jones there in third spot, trying to stay with them, but Malcolm Simmons once again starting to stamp his authority. This is the third time out for Malcolm. And, with 2 rides already under his belt and 2 wins, I'm sure he's feeling pretty confident about taking this pre-75. They've still opted to go for the 4 rides apiece. And we'll work it all out on points who it is that takes it overall. But at the moment, as they go into the last lap, Malcolm Simmons absolutely dominated the race. Tony Davey under a bit of pressure now from number 43, Chris Hendrickson. But just as I say that, then Tony pulls away again. Out comes the checker flag once more, and that's going to be the third time this afternoon that Malcolm Simmons has seen it. With the pre-75, it was another win for rider number 1, Malcolm Simmons. In second place, number 3, Tony Davey. In third place, number 43, Chris Hendrickson. Fourth place, number 115, Morris Jones. And fifth place, number 17. Sixth place, number 11. Seventh place, 121. Eighth place, 174. The winning time was 134.46. 56.82 was the average speed. So 134.46, 56.82. Score well in your heats. We know that we've had 3 heat winners, and ironically all 3 of those heat winners will go in race 27. So all the other competitors know this is an opportunity to get maximum points from your second ride. So who have we got? Dave Steer had a second place first time out. Well, Dave Steer was locked into that second spot, but it's James Rodgers that gets away. And I shouldn't ignore the fact that he had a second first time out as well. So he'll certainly feel confident. Richard Thomas and Dave Steer almost together as they go into that bottom turn. The dust starts to fly, as indeed James Rodgers sets the pace. Gets away, but he's got in close contention to him. Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley. Dave Steer. In front, Dave Steer's looking to make a move. Dave Steer comes through into that second place in front of Richard Thomas. But still it is number 4 outfit, James Rodgers and Damien James, the lead. Dave Steer, who had a second first time out, looking to stay in that challenging position of getting second place points. Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley still there in third. Now starting to hang, but I'm sure that James Rodgers and Damien James won't mind. They know that they've got a clear track to run at. And as they go round that top bend, it really is these front 3 that have got away from Simon Wall back in fourth place. And as they complete the last lap, it is outfit number 4, James Rodgers and Damien James, that come to the line and get maximum points. It was second leg for the right-hand side cars. It's incredible they're only on their second leg rides, but there we are. It's a win for number 4, James Rodgers and Damien James. They'll be pleased with that one. In second place, number 17, Dave Steer and John Richards. In third place, number 60, Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley. In fourth place, number 21, Simon Wall and Mick Stace. Fifth place, number 69, and winning time, 130.52, 130.52, 59.29, 59.29 they averaged. We've got no Gary Parmenter going in this one. For John Horsey this time as he goes into that first turn in the lead from Mick Toll and Tony Baisby. Oh, that is Paul Johnson that's locked up in the middle of the turn. He finds himself going across the centre green at very high speed. Well, he'll avoid the flags. And as he made his way back to the field, and I'm sure that Johnson will wonder what on earth has happened. But John will know that he is technically in front still. And I can see that Mick Toll has lost it on that top bend as well. He returns back to the circuit. Street continues to race. But I can see, I don't quite know why, but I can see there is a red flag. We didn't have Gary Parmenter first time out. John Halsey, Jason Glennie are out there. No Phil Johnson, no Ian Lee Amis, and no Roger Wynne. So 3 outfits only go for the restart. John Halsey and Jason Glennie it is that get to the front as they go into that first turn. Oh, Mick Toll and Tony Baseby saying they want to take over. So I can see that we've got arms in the air from Jason Glennie, but looks as if the bike has got itself going again. Mick Toll takes over, John Halsey takes over again. So it's chop and change all the way as Mick Toll has got the lead. Ian Lee Amis goes through as well. I'm sure there's problems for John Halsey and Jason Glennie, and I'm sure Mick Toll and Tony Baseby won't mind. Once again, John Halsey pulls off into the centre green. We're left with 2 outfits only. And Mick Toll and Tony Baseby will be getting maximum points from this one. As they go down the back straight, Ian Lee Amis. And of course his passenger, Paul Phillips, the only ones who can stop them getting the maximum points. One more lap to go for these two. You can see that very, very quickly the circuit dries out. There's been a lot of water put down this afternoon, but no sooner it's down there than they quickly get it to dry out, and up comes the dust again as we see the checkered flag go for race 26. And it is number 62, Mick Toll, that has got maximum points. I'm sure he'll be pleased about that. Mick Toll and Tony Baseby, followed home in second by number 183, Ian Lee Amis and Paul Phillips. The winning time was 1:31.56, the speed was 58.62. So, promises to be an interesting one into that first turn. They'll get underway. Miles Simmons in all sorts of problems as he comes off that start line. Gets it under control and joins them in the middle of the turn. It all gets sorted out by the look of it. There really was a hairy run into the first turn for Miles Simmons and Dave Hogan. But they've got it back under control, and while all that was going on, Ivor Matthews and Tony have got themselves to the front. John Hiscock and Nick Waters in second place at the moment. Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera in third place, and Miles Simmons now having to battle his way through from third place. Paul Whitelum in fourth spot at the moment. Oh, fifth spot I should say, as we've got Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles looking to be the only ones who can keep the maximum points. John Hiscock and Nick Waters still there in second place. The gap's not opening up too much. They've stayed pretty much the same as they were from that first couple of laps as they go into the last lap now. There's still no changes being made. Miles Simmons still sitting back there in fourth place. Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera in that third spot. But as they come off that bottom bend, certainly taking command, knowing he was out there with other Heat 1 winners, Ivor Matthews takes his second win. And that rider turned out to be number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles. Finishing second to them, number 184, that's John Hiscock and Nick Waters. Third place, number 8, Paul Bickley, Paul Silvera. In fourth place, number 19, Miles Simmons and Dave Hogan. Fifth place, number 92, Paul Whitelum and Kevin Jones. And sixth place, number 30, Seth and Carl Blythe. Winning time was 1:28.14, 60.89 the average speed. Now move to race 28 in your programme. We move back to the 350 class.
And looking at the 350s at the moment, top of the tree is number 8 and number 71. And neither of those go in this first race. We see Jamie Rodgers in race 29. And looking for number 8, Vince Kinchin. Oh, he does go in this one. I do apologise. Right. And closest to them was number 65, Lee Bartlett. He's already to the line. And this, of course, the last of their qualifying rides. They know if they don't get the points in this one, then they really are in trouble and in no hope of getting into that final. Vince Kinchin that has indeed made the best of it, going around that first turn. He's found a little bit of drive on the outside of the bend that's got him away from the rest of the field. And it looks as if he's decided to stay out there. He's going to stay in that loose, and that sometimes can be a very hard ride. But he's certainly making the best of it. Number 2 in the 350s, Craig Smith up there in second place. And Lee Bartlett holding third at the moment. And that big gap that's starting to open up. Vince Kinchin really is putting the pressure on. As they go into the last lap, it is Vince Kinchin that's leading very comfortably now. Craig Smith, the second rider to him. Lee Bartlett, who as I mentioned is up in the points. He's sitting in third place. But this is certainly going to be an interesting time to look at. Vince Kinchin deciding to ride the outside. He stuck with that decision all the way through, and it's been a very quick ride through. The third leg rides in the 350 class. It was a win for number 8. That's Vince Kinchin. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him in the finals. He's had 3 rides and 3 wins. In second place, number 2. That's Craig Smith. In third place, number 65, Lee Bartlett. In fourth place, number 4, Adam Shipp. In fifth place, number 5, Mike Etherington. And in sixth place, number 61. Seventh goes 52, and eighth goes 67. 1:30.64 was the winning time. 1:30.64, 59.21. So over the page we go, and into race 29, where we have now seen go back into the pits Vince Kinchin, who's had 3 rides and 3 wins. Coming out in this one is Jamie Rodgers, the only rider that can equal that. He's about second gate in from the inside. At the moment, knows he's on 2 rides. Now, closest to them is going to be that is Richard Smith. Well, it's Jamie that's made the best of the starts, but Richard has gone round the outside, so perhaps he was watching what Vince Kinchin was doing. And just as I say that, you can see spinning completely round is Jamie Rodgers. He's back up on the machine, but he's got a lot of work to do now to get back in contention. Now, I'm sure that just with even minor points, he could have done enough to get into the final. And obviously we'll confirm that later on. We'll see what points he can make up. But that's a great, great shame for Jamie Rodgers. He's got a lot of work to do now to try and catch up with the rest of the field. And he really has handed the race to Richard Smith, who won't mind getting maximum points at all. So, good little ride this for Nathan Irwin, as he's got on the inside of him Lewis Denham. Once again, 2 youngsters that really are bringing this 350 class alive. Nathan Irwin on the outside gets himself into second. Lewis Denham in third place at the moment. Now trying to keep eyes on Jamie Rodgers as well. He looks to have made up 1 place.
Oh, where does that put him? He's now got up to 6th place at the moment. So one more lap to go. Can he make up any more places? It's a long, long fight. And as Richard Smith goes over the line and takes the win, we'll count them back as they come through, because Richard Smith goes across the line in first. Nathan Owen goes across in second. Lewis Denham in third. Number 150 goes in fourth, and Jamie Rodgers has got himself up into 5th place. So, and the third leg for the 350 is a win for number 33, Richard Smith. In second place, number 83, Nathan Owen. Third place, number 81, Lewis Denham. Fourth place, 150, Bevan Gilbert-Jarrett. And fifth place, number 71, Jamie Rodgers. Sixth place there, number 28. Seventh place, 303. The winning time, 128.95. 128.95, 60.34. So the last of the qualifying rides for the 350 event. This is the one where, if riders haven't done it, they've got to do it and know that they will be in that final. So the last qualifying heat, who have we got going in this one? John Cox had a good ride. He's now with a chance perhaps. Now we've got looking for looking for John to do it from the outside. He's gone all the way around them, and it is indeed John that's got to the front as he comes out of that first turn. Down the back straight he goes. So fairly sure that even with my simple arithmetic, he's going to, if he stays with these maximum points, of course, to get himself into the final. Brian Cornelius holding second spot. Gordon Fenning holding third. Mike Tacey it is in fourth spot, but really this one does look to be a consolidating ride for John Cox to make sure of a place in the final. He looks over his shoulder. I'm sure even he can't believe how comfortable it is at the moment. Brian Cornelius not closing on him at all. Well, it's a very, very quick circuit, and I'm sure these 350s have found it quite a long way round. But the times have been very comparable to the 500s as we see him go into the last lap. John, I'm sure, will know that this will mean a place in the final, as he will move on to 25 points. And there goes the checkered flag for John Cox. He takes another race victory, and I'm sure that is a place in the final for him. He moves on to 25 points. Rides for the 350s, won by number 611, that's John Cox. In second place, number 48, that's Brian Cornelius. Third place, number 119. That's Gordon Fennings. And fourth place, number 41, Mike Tacey. Fifth place, number 43, Stuart Allen. And the winning time, 136.44, 136.44, 55.65 they averaged. So race 31, we move back to pre-75. And although this is the fourth heat, I make this the last ride for number 1, Malcolm Simmons, and well, not for any other riders at the moment. They're all going to have 4 rides, remember. But as we've seen already, Malcolm Simmons has been absolutely dominating this one. Well, quite what happened there I'm not sure, but it appears the pit gate had not been shut.
Starter obviously keen to get them going, was quick to let them go. So the pit gate is now closed and the riders are ready for the restart. Get underway and Malcolm Simmons hasn't made it first into that bottom turn. What will it be like when they come out of that first turn? Well, as we lose one rider in the middle of the bend, Malcolm Simmons has indeed taken over the lead. We're hoping that rider can get his bike up, and indeed he jumps back on, away he goes again, so we will be able to continue racing. As head down, the riders come towards me. Malcolm Simmons leads from Morris Jones in second place. Looks to be a bit of a battle for that second spot at the moment. Morris Jones certainly there at the moment, and Malcolm Simmons really trying to stamp his authority on this event. He wants to win pre-75 everywhere he goes. Peter Baker, who scored well, sitting there in third place. Definitely trying to close on Morris Jones. But really, I think this pre-75 event has all been about Malcolm Simmons and who can get second to him. Good bit of scrap going on for this second place though, as Peter Baker has now moved through into second place. Morris Jones has got to try and fight back, and he's left a very big gap. But Peter Baker looks to be enjoying himself this afternoon. Slides back on the machine, tries to get maximum drive, and as the checkered flag goes, it is going to be another victory for Malcolm Simmons. Peter Baker gets that second, and Morris Jones third. I reckon that's about their fourth heat this afternoon, and fourth win for number 1, Malcolm Simmons. In second place, number 22, that's Peter Baker. Third place, 115, Morris Jones. Fourth place, number 3, Tony Davey. Fifth place, number 18. Sixth place, 121. And seventh place, 43. 133.21 was the winning time. 133.21, 57.58 the average speed. With no race 32, of course, the left-hand side cars are now going straight into their final. So we move to race 33 even, past those terrific photos, and a reminder of the International Bonfire Burn-Up, next event here at the boarded circuit. And that's 3rd of November, full international entry of solo and sidecars. So race 33 then we go with the 500cc sidecars continuing their campaign this afternoon. As he dives into the lead going into that first turn. And they start to sort themselves out going down the back straight. Lester and Andrew Stevens almost making an error as they come round that first bend, losing the lead, but they've got it back again and again. They've gone very, very wide, but they've kept the speed on. Filling up in second place, and I've got to say he's been getting quicker as the afternoon's gone on. Mentioned to you earlier that Dave Johnson, his new passenger, is out for the very first time this afternoon, and he's very quickly getting used to it. This really is in good company this afternoon that he's had his debut ride. But Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens starting to stamp their authority. It has closed up a little bit in that second, third and fourth place. But as the last lap flag is made ready for Lester Goodwin, this is going to be yet another win for him. Thought we were going to see a bit of change there in that second place, but Andy Kerrison manages to hang on to it. Tony Cook definitely trying to get second from him. Just nosed in front of him, but
Back comes Andy Kerrison as the checker flag is made ready, and Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens make it 3 out of 3. Andy Kerrison finishing in second, but I'll leave it to the lap scorers to decide who was third and fourth. 33, we move into the 500 sidecars, and we've seen outfit number 3 out there once again. He takes another win. That is Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. Second place, number 8, Andy Kerrison and Dave Johnson. Third place, number 23, Tony Stark and Darren Wood. Fourth place, number 10, Tony Cook and Ronnie Stewart. And fifth place, number 33, Rob Wright and Roland Meredith. 135.92, 135.92, 55.95 the average speed. Top of the tree at the moment is number 4, Andrew Appleton, who we do see in this one. Equal to him with 2 rides and 2 wins is number 20, David Howe. He goes in race 36. Closest to them is number 26. That's Mark Giles, who has to go up against David Howe in race 36. With Howe, he's a bit later on. Andrew Appleton, of course, riding number 4. Well, they try to sort themselves out on that first turn, and Andrew Appleton at the moment I can see in second place. Oh, there was one rider that I'd missed, and of course that was Richard Hall, and he's got himself out in front as he comes round off that top turn. Richard Hall is from Andrew Appleton in second. Martin Goodwin in third place at the moment. But really the speed of those 2 up front, they really are pulling away. This is a good ride from Richard Hall to stay in front of Andrew Appleton, but he's closing all the time. Comes round off that top turn, looks for a way around the outside. I'm looking for him to switch on the inside, but he's preferring to stay wide. Again he drives hard and he goes all the way around. He's right on the edge of the boards as he comes out of that pit bend. But the speed he had on at the same time while he's holding on to it, digging into that loose on the outside. Richard Hall could do nothing about it but watch him go by. Martin Goodwin must be wondering what he's put himself back into. He's watching those 2 go away from him. And they really have got some speed on going down that back straight. This does promise to be a very, very quick time as we see the checkered flag out already for number 4, Andrew Appleton. He makes it 3 out of 3, and we will see him in the final. We see a tremendous win once again for rider number 4, Andrew Appleton. In second place to him, number 30, that's Richard Hall. Third place, number 1, Martin Goodwin. Fourth place, number 41, Darren Rolfe. Fifth place, number 7. Sixth place, number 47. And seventh place, number 2. 121.73 was the time, 65.67 they averaged. 121.73, 65.67. So, who are we going to see out in this 500 final? We know that Mitch Godden is doing well, and he's once again. Well, I'm sure that he sat in the pit box to watch those 2 racing a moment ago, as he would have noticed they were riding very wide lines, and Mitch has stayed out there as well. That does seem to be the quickest line. It's perhaps a bit too slick on the inside, so they're looking for a little bit of air on the outside. Well, as we look to see Mitch establish himself at the front, there could be a battle going on for second place here. Scott Broad has scored very well so far. He's on 14 points and knows with a good ride here he'll be in the final. Number 10, that's Dave Rumsey. He's the rider sitting in third place at the moment, and Dave Rumsey's only on 12 points, so he did need a good point scoring ride here. Mitch Godden has certainly made sure of the place in the final with one more lap to go here in his last qualifying heat. Well, Dave Rumsey has taken the decision to try the inside lines. It Certainly doesn't look as quick. As we see them go down the back straight, Mitch Godden has really set up quite a gap between him and second place, Scott Broad. But he's going to get the checker flag, he's going to get the maximum points. It's a fine win for number 9, Mitch Godden. Second place to him, number 150, Scott Broad. In third place, number 10, that's Dave Rumsey. Fourth place, number 15, Mike Sturgeon. And fifth place, number 74. The winning time, 124.77. 124.77, 63.31. We stay with the 500 solo, and we look for the last of the qualifiers. As we look to this, the last of the qualifying rides for the 500 solo. David Howe goes for a third time. Mark Giles goes up against him. Thomas Cooper. They're all in with a chance of getting into the final. Made a very good start. Now David Howe dives underneath him though as they go into that first turn. And he lifts it up coming out of the bend. He's found a bit more grip. But it is David Howe that's setting the pace as they come off that top turn for the first time. David Howe is making it the man to be caught. Mark Giles stays there with him. Thomas Cooper in third at the moment. Tim Mount is the rider in fourth, but the gaps are certainly starting to open as David Howe pushes on and makes the pace. Dives into the top turn, very much in control. Now he knows that this will equal points to Andrew Appleton with the 10 here. They will definitely be in the final. Mark Giles also with that second place is going to be out in that A final. Only 8 riders, of course. And as you get a bit further down the list, it is getting very, very tight in terms of who it is that joins these top runners in that A final. 8 riders, of course, will go through, and as they come to the line, David Howe will make sure of it. He gets maximum points once again. Mark Giles is there as well. He's finished with second place points. And another good ride from Thomas Cooper. Third time out, third win for number 20, David Howe. In second place, number 26, Mark Giles. Third place, number 153, Tom Cooper. In fourth place, number 17, Tim Mount. And fifth place, number 189, Rob Snow. 121.64, 65.74. So they now know that it's last qualifying ride. I just wonder whether they've worked it all out in the pits from the points from 2 rides. Certainly, I think really just a reasonable score will do them okay. Richard Thomas gets a good spread off the line, but he loses it and everybody goes away from him as it is James Rodgers once again that gets himself to the front of the field. Mick Towell is in second place to him. Dave Steer close as well. But it is James Rodgers under pressure now from Mick Towell going into that bottom turn. Those two almost together as they come round off that bottom turn. Dave Steer is certainly not losing the battle yet though. He's close to them. Well, this could get interesting as Mick Towell tries to make a challenge on James Rodgers. Then there will be gaps appear for Dave Steer to nick through. But at the moment, Mick Towell still keeping it tight, hard behind James Rodgers. He's looking perhaps for James Rodgers to overcook it in the bend rather than try and drive around the outside. He's just trying to hold it out a little bit tighter. Dave Steer, I think, has realised that, and he's now going to go for a much wider approach into the bends. But as they go in with one more lap to go, Mick Towell has, but long last been forced to go for that wide line. Dave Steer has sensed it. He could see a gap on the inside as he comes out of that top bend. It's not going to be there, so Dave again has got to look for the outside. Here he goes. This is the track he had to be going, as Mick Towell was not moving out from that inside line at all. The win goes to James Rodgers and Damien James, and I'm not honestly sure who got it for that second place. Yep. It's a win for outfit number 4, so that's plus maximum 7 points for James Rodgers and Damien James. They move on to 19. In second place to them, number 17 it was on the line, Dave Steer and John Richards. So that wide line on the last bend paid dividends. Number 17, Dave Steer and John Richards. In third place, number 62, Mick Towell and Tony Baisby. Fourth place, number 60, Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley. 129.84 was the winning time. 59.74 was the average speed. So 129.84, 59.74 the average speed. Finishers in race 37. Oh, one rider that could do well here is Malcolm Simmons, of course. He's missed out on points in his second ride, but had a very good win first time out. Now, number 92 is going extremely well at the moment in front. So, 92, Paul Whitelum and Kevin Jones, under pressure from Malcolm Simmons and Dave Hogan. I just wonder whether this could be enough for Paul Whitelum. Outfit number 8, Paul Bickley, looks as if he's changed back to his grass machine. I'm sure he was on his speedway outfit a bit earlier on this afternoon, but for whatever reason he's decided to change back. And he's pushing hard, looking for Malcolm Simmons again. We got the scenario where second has got to look and try and make the moves to make a pass. When you've got somebody that close to you in third place, you're probably going to leave gaps for him to have an attack at. At the moment, I think they're all travelling a bit too quickly. They haven't closed up enough. Paul Whitelum and Kevin Jones coming round off that bottom turn. They're certainly going to get the win. Second, Paul Bickley third, and Simon Wall in fourth. At number 92, Paul Whitelum and Kevin Jones. In second place, number 19, Malcolm Simmons, Dave Hogan. Third place, number 8, Paul Bickley, Paul Severa. Fourth place goes to number 21, Simon Wall and Mick Stays. Fifth place, number 69, and a winning time of 129.53, 59.95 the average speed. So 129.53, 59.95. So we look to the last of the qualifying rides for the 1000cc sidecars. Ivor Matthews, the only sidecar unbeaten so far coming into this third ride. They get underway. Also scoring well this afternoon, John Hiscock. It all gets very, very tight in that first turn. John Halsey in third place, John Hiscock in fourth, John Halsey looking to make it second perhaps. I think that's Ian Lee Amos that's up in second at the moment, but he's gone wide, or indeed been forced to go wide on that bottom turn. John Hiscock has seen a gap and he's gone after it. John Halsey doing everything he can to keep out Ian Lee Amos, and John Hiscock has taken advantage and got up into second. Well, tremendous ride from John Hiscock and Nick Walters as they got themselves up into second place. And while all that battle's been going on, Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles have comfortably stayed out in front. and they look like making it into the final on maximum points from the qualifying. Well, they certainly have now got themselves sorted out. Well, we can see a little bit of the old leg trailing action from Tony Miles there. He enjoys it when the tracks are smooth, he tells me. So, as we see the checkered flag being made ready, that's going to be 3 rides and 3 wins for Ira Matthews and Tony Miles. John Hiscock and Nick Walters scoring good points in second place. And we now are just going to work out who it is that goes in which final. And it was a win for number 15, Ira Matthews and Tony Miles. In second place, number 184, John Hiscock and Nick Walters. Third place, number 13, John Halsey and Jason Glennie. Fourth place, number 183, Ian Lee Amis and Paul Phillips. Fifth place, number 30, Seth and Carl Blythe. A winning time of 127.16, 61.58, the average speed. 40 left-hand sidecars, they're now already into their final. Race 56, I think that one is, a little bit later on in the programme. So we now return to the 500 sidecars, as I mentioned. Race 41 in your programme. Oh, can he do it again? And Andrew Stevens have been unbeaten so far this afternoon. But at the moment they're back in third place, so they've got some work to do this time. Brian Palmer it is that's got to the front. No, I do believe that's Andy Kerrison that's in second, and Lester Goodwin now moves through into second place. It is Brian Palmer who's out in the lead. And Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg have now got in close contention to them the outfit of Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. Well, what can he do about it? He hasn't been in this position yet so far this afternoon. He's now got to work for the lead if he's going to get it. Pulls it in tight coming out of that top turn. Brian knows he's there. He's going to pass the line down the straight. He'll be able to get through on the inside. Has he got to go for a wide line round the outside? Oh, Lester Goodwin certainly closer this time, and he finds a gap on the inside. The two of them locked together as they go into this top turn. Oh, we've certainly seen this before, and Lester Goodwin has got the better line coming out of the bend. One more lap to go. They still want to work at this and get this one. Oh, will they change lines? Will they look for a way through on the last turn? Lester Goodwin very much under control now, but Brian Palmer won't give up. You can be guaranteed of that. It's getting closer for that third place as well as they come towards the checkered flag. This has been a good one for the 500s. Lester Goodwin second, Brian Palmer in second, Keith Richards in third, Andy Kerrison fourth. Of the 500 sidecars and more points being scored. Maximum that is for outfit number 3, Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. Outfit number 3. In second place to them, number 71, Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. Third place, number 143, Keith Richards and Gareth Bemister. Fourth place, number 8, Andy Kerrison and Dave Johnson. Fifth place, number 100, Alan Doherty and Craig Doherty. Winning time, 133.97, 133.97, 57.12 the average speed, 57.12. move to race 42. This is the pre-75 solo. No Malcolm Simmons this time. This is the ride that he misses. So, who's going to make the best of it? Number 22's been going well. Well, they sort themselves out going into that first turn. Looking to see who's made the best of it. And that looks to me like Chris Hendrickson has made the best of it. Well, identify them for you as they come round. It is Peter Baker on the inside. Chris Hendrickson on the outside. These two know that they're probably battling for second place now as I say this. Because, although looking at it, Chris Hendrickson looks to have dropped points in one of his rides. He will make the best of this one. Peter Baker still close to him in second. Morris Jones still there in third. Dave Norris holding fourth. And Chris Hendrickson going very, very close to those boards on the far side. Peter Baker sees the advantage, comes through on the inside of him. And it is Peter that's now got the lead from Chris Hendrickson in second place. Dave Norris having his own little battle with Morris Jones in that third and fourth place. And as the checkered flag indeed is made ready. Well, it's going to be number 22, Peter Baker, that gets it. Chris Hendrickson in second, Morris Jones in third, and Dave Norris in fourth. Number 22, Peter Baker. Second, number 43, Chris Hendrickson. Third, number 115, Morris Jones. Fourth, number 17, Dave Norris. Fifth, number 11. Sixth, number 121. The winning time, 1:33.29. 1:33.29. That's 57.53 they've averaged. Looking at the overall points of the 500 sidecars, I think that my arithmetic tells me that Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens have already won the event. They had 4 rides and 4 wins and got 28 points. Now, closest to them looks like Brian Palmer, who's had a win and 2 seconds. He goes in this last ride. He's only had 3 rides. And at the moment, we can't see Brian Palmer. Is that Danny I can see putting his helmet on the track up there? It most certainly. Oh, I think there's a little bit of panic going on in the pits at the moment. So the last to come into line, and he's got this outside gate. Got Tony Cook on the inside of him. And away they go. Into that first turn, Brian Palmer looking to get in front straight away, and does just that as he gets to the middle of the bend. So Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg down the back straight, trying quickly to pull away from the rest of the field. And as they got themselves round past me for the second time, number 23, Tony Stark and Darren Wood, they're in second place. Now I wonder if they've worked the points out, because with 5 points here, that would put them on 18 overall, and it would just about get them third place. I wonder if the arithmetic has been done back there in the pits. But Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg knew exactly what they had to do. Get out there and win it, and be sure of second place overall. Now, position starting to change in that second, third and fourth place. So Tony Stark going very, very wide, has lost 2 places. So that now changes things completely. and I think brings Andy Kerrison into third place overall. And Keith Richards doing the work for Andy Kerrison, who can only sit in the pits and watch what's happening. And Tony Stark, I don't think will have done enough now with the points back in fourth place. But as the checker flag is raised, it was all about what Brian Palmer could do to consolidate second place overall. He's now won his last ride. Keith Richards gets second, Tony Cook in third, and Tony Stark in fourth. A win for number 71, that is of course Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. Second place two on number 143, Keith Richards and Gareth Bemister. Third place number 10, Tony Cook and Ronnie Stewart. Fourth place number 23, Tony Stark and Darren Wood. Fifth place number 100, Alan and Craig Dougherty. And in sixth place number 33, the winning time 134.61, 134.61, 56.73 was the average speed, 56.73. You see left-hand sidecar final. And quite clearly earlier on this afternoon, the riders got themselves together and realised that they could organise a final. They didn't want to do it point scoring, the same as we've seen with the 500 sidecars and the pre-75. I can confirm to you that the result of the 500 sidecar was in third place, Andy Kerrison and Dave Johnson. Terrific achievement for Dave, his first time out at a meeting. Second place, Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg, and first place, Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. That's the 500 sidecar result. The pre-75, I think you all know it was won by Malcolm Simmons. I can now confirm that second place was Peter Baker, and third place, Tony Davey. But for the moment, we see a straight race on the line. It's 4 laps for the left-hand sidecars. And race 56 in your programme. So who's it going to be? We've seen Martin Cuff had wins. We've seen Steve Maitland have 2 wins. Tony Penfold has been right there as well. Oh, away they go. Martin Cuff has made a terrific start as they go into that first turn. He's got the edge as he goes in, but Steve Maitland is right there with him. Tony Penfold trying to go around the outside and look for third place. But it is Martin Cuff and Colin Clark that have got away. Steve Maitland and Dave Hollins in second at the moment. Tony Penfold moves up into third place. But the scrap has got to be said to be at the front, because we've got Martin Cuff and Colin Clark leading from Steve Maitland and Dave Hollins. Those two together, Tony Penfold and Carl Bell in third. But look at the scrap for first place. Well, Martin Cuff will be trying to make sure there's no way around the outside for him, but is he going to leave too big a gap on the inside? Tony Penfold could take advantage of that as they try and fight with each other to stop the lines happening. Tony Penfold will be conscious that they're going wide. He can have the inside, and he's done exactly that. Tony Penfold has moved through on the inside. Terrific sidecar racing from these 3 crews. Martin Cuff has locked out Steve Maitland as they go up the back straight. They've had to slow down and let them go, and all that time that those two were fighting, Tony Penfold and Carl Bell took advantage. They got through on the inside. They've now just got 1 more lap to go. Steve Maitland and Dave Holland try to get that second place back, and they've done it as they go into the bottom turn. There's Steve Maitland, it is now in second place. He's got 1 more corner to go. Can he catch up on Tony Penfold? Has Tony done enough? He goes into the top turn. He's just got that last corner to make as the checkered flag is made ready. That was a terrific ride from Tony Penfold and Carl Bell. They've done it. Steve Maitland and Dave Holland get second to them. Martin Cuff and Colin Clark finish in third. And if the rest of the finals are as close as that one, then it's well worth waiting for. I know it's been a long day, but that was a tremendous decision from the 1000cc left-handers. I think you'll all agree with me. Tremendous decision just to do the 2 qualifying rides and then give us a final like that. Absolutely tremendous racing, and well done to Tony Penfold. Very intelligent riding. appreciate your applause because that was a tremendous final from those guys. Let's give it to you officially. The official result of race 56, the left-hand sidecar final, was a win for outfit number 25, Tony Penfold and Carbell. In second, number 1, Steve Maitland and Dave Hollins. In third, number 128, Martin Cuff and Colin Clark. In fourth place, number 123, Billy Penfold and Will Offen. In fifth place, number 27, Clive Holland and Stephen Fish. In sixth place, number 19, Dominic Doyle and Peter Taylor. 140.30 was the time, 140.30, 53.51 the average speed. Kinchin. 33, Richard Smith. 611, John Cox. 71, Jamie Rodgers. 65, Lee Bartlett. 83, Nathan Irwin. 48, Brian Cornelius. And number 2, 21-year-old today, Craig Smith. John Cox is there, and Vince Kinchin has come through the crowd to get up there as well, but Vince is back in second, now third, as it starts to change. I think that is number 33, Richard Smith has come through, the very tall figure of Richard, but out in front at the moment is Jamie Rodgers, number 71. Jamie Rodgers, it is the lead from Richard Smith on the outside, Vince Kinchin on the inside. Those three now getting away from the rest of the field, but tremendous ride from Jamie Rodgers. Jamie Rodgers has got the lead. Vince Kinchin goes after him on the inside. He knows that if he tries to shut him out too much, he'll get Richard Smith going around the outside of him. He's got to try and stay very much in the middle ground. He's got battling from both sides. Richard Smith again has gone the wide line, again looking to get the speed up the back straight, but Jamie Rodgers is still there. Jamie Rodgers goes into the top bend, still with the lead from Richard Smith, who again is forced wide. Vince Kinchin watching what's happening. He'll know he can pounce if he can just get the speed up and stay tight as well. Easy for me to say, but very difficult to do, as those two in front of him are absolutely flying. Oh, problems as he got close to the boards for Richard Smith, and Richard's put it down. Richard's put it down. It means that as we come towards the checkered flag, it's going to be a win for Jamie Rodgers. Vince Kinchin gets second, and a battling John Cox comes through for third place. Well, I'm pleased to see that Richard is straight up on his feet, but very, very disappointing ride from Richard. But once again, tremendous entertainment, a terrific 350 final. And our congratulations to the youngster, Jamie Rodgers. I think you agree with me, tremendous, well-deserved applause. It was, of course, rider number 71. Let's give you that official result for those of you that keep your programs 100%. Race 57 in your program, it was a win for rider number 71, Jamie Rodgers. Second place, number 8, Vince Kinchin. Third place, number 611, John Cox. Fourth place, number 65, Lee Bartlett. Fifth place, number 83, Nathan Irwin. Sixth place, number 2, Craig Smith. Seventh place, number 48, Brian Cornelius. And the winning time, 127.47, 61.36 they average. 127.47, 61.36. We now go over the page and right the way down the bottom. No solo B final, no right-hand sidecar B final. We're straight into race 61 for the 500cc Solo A. And coming to the line, first choice of gate should go to either number 4, Andrew Appleton, or number 20, David Howe. Well, you can see that David has taken the outside gate, Andrew just inside him. Also coming to the line is number 9, Mitch Godden, number 26, Mark Giles, number 30, Richard Hall, 150 is Scott Broad, number 10 is Dave Rumsey, and number 153, Thomas Cooper. So, Tom right on the inside, out there with a lot of strong competition, but terrific achievement for him. David Howe has got the of problems as they go down that first turn. Oh, I can see that we've got riders fallen on that first bend. There is a red flag out in the interest of safety. But the red flag has gone out. We'll count them off as they come by us. But I do think that was David Howe that went down going into that first bend. Oh, I must admit, I'm sure a lot of you down that bottom corner can see that although shaken, David Howe is up on his feet, and that's very pleasing to see. And just as I'm saying that, I can see that Mitch has got up as well. So both of them taking very heavy falls on that bottom turn, and as Mitch walks off quite commandingly actually towards the pits. Very, very pleased to see that both those very talented riders are perfectly okay. As we all anxiously look at that pit box. Well, I'm very, very pleased to see that Mitch Godden looks to be mounting machinery once again. Final adjustments being made. I think everybody's got their hand in the air over there at the moment, but the starters can obviously see that they are desperately trying to get Mitch back to this start line. Richard Hall sitting on the start line with Mark Charles on the outside. Scott Road on the inside of them. Dave Rumsey, and right on the inside Thomas Cooper. But it is Mitch Godden that's going to come into that centre start line right beside Andrew Appleton. He's certainly got into that first turn ahead of everybody else as they fan out, as they get round the outside. It is Mitch Godden that's dropped back into second right at the last minute, as I believe that's Andrew Appleton that's got himself to the front. So Andrew Appleton it is, out in front as they come off that first turn and up the back straight. He's got to the front, Mitch Godden in second. Richard Hall in third, and Richard is looking for a way through on the inside. Looks down at machinery though, and he slows in that bend. Everybody else tries to avoid him. Richard looks very, very disappointed, as I'm sure everybody can imagine he is, as he pulls off into the centre green. Andrew Appleton takes away. Mitch Godden is still there in second. Mark Charles has now moved up into third place. Scott Road is under pressure from Thomas Cooper for that fourth place at the moment. There's a good little scrap going on further back there. But at the moment, it is Andrew Appleton that is stamping his authority. He wants this one. He goes into the last lap, leading from Mitch Godden. Mark Charles still there in third place, and Thomas Cooper again makes a challenge on fourth. Thomas Cooper it is that moves into fourth place in front of Scott Road. Or is he going to give up and come back at him? Well, they're chasing after third place perhaps as they go up the back straight. It's checkered flag this time. Andrew Appleton takes it. Mitch Godden a tremendous ride in second place. Mark Charles gets third and Thomas Cooper in fourth. Well, indeed, very well-deserved applause for the riders that competed in that A final. Let's give you the official result. It was, of course, a win for rider number 4, Andrew Appleton. In second place, number 9, Mitch Godden. In third place, number 26, Mark Giles. In fourth place, number 153, Thomas Cooper. In fifth place, number 150, that's Scott Road. And in sixth place, number 10, and that's Dave Rumsey. 122.34 to time, a speed of 65.18. 65.18 they have. Competitors coming to the line, unbeaten so far this afternoon. First choice of gate, number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles. Number 4, tremendous afternoon for James Rodgers and Damian James. Number 184, John Hiscock and partnership with Nick Walters. Number 19, Miles Simmons and Dave Hogan. Number 17, Dave Steer and John Richards. And after a tremendous last ride, Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones joined the lineup for this right-hand sidecar final. While we wait for the sidecars to come into line, I've been told there are awards to be given out for the top 3 in every single class. So the top 3 riders in every single class, if you can make it for what I hope will be a very quick presentation, because I know a lot of people have got very long journeys to make, and we have suffered with a few hold-ups this afternoon. Fortunately, the weather's been on our side, or perhaps we could say the weather's been against us. We're not used to this brilliant sunshine. It's been drying the track out rapidly. But I hope that even though it's been a fairly long day, you've enjoyed the sort of racing that this track can produce. There is a date in your diary, I hope, for the 3rd of November. That's the International Bonfire Burn-Up, where we will see a full international line-up backed by 1000cc and 500cc sidecars. There's plenty of meetings in between then that I know you're going to enjoy in the southeast, and many of us from other parts of the country will be travelling down here. But before all that, we've got to conclude today's meeting, and we've got on the line the big 1000cc right-hand sidecar final. If it can equal the left-hand sidecars, then we're in for another treat. The best of it. Ivor Matthews on the inside perhaps is just nosing in front. James Rodgers is on the outside of him. He's in second, but only just. Miles Simmons on the inside of him, trying to get the bike straight, trying to get the power on. Paul Whitelam has got John Hiscock on the outside of him. John trying to get clear of the dust and get round into at least 3rd place. Miles Simmons looks over his shoulder. James Rodgers is in second. Miles Simmons looking for a gap on the inside of him for that 2nd place. But at the moment, it is Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles that have got away. They've certainly looked the quickest this afternoon, and they've certainly wanted to make this final theirs. Great scrap still going on for that 2nd place. Miles Simmons in all sorts of problems. Straightens it up again, but it is still James Rodgers and Damian James that are out in 2nd place. John Hiscock and Nick Walters very disappointingly pull off into the centre green. They've obviously hit problems, but no problems at the moment for Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles. One more lap to go. James Rodgers and Damian James having a tremendous ride, and great to see Miles Simmons up there in 3rd spot. Still the battle rages for 4th place though. Dave Steer moves up into that 4th place, but as we see the checkered flag go for the last final of the day, it's Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles that get it. James Rodgers and Damian James get 2nd. Miles Simmons and Dave Hogan get 3rd place as Dave Steer crosses the line in 4th. Big disappointment for John Hiscock and Nick Walters as they limp their way back to the pits. But again, as I said, in the A solo 500cc event, Andrew Appleton stamped his authority all afternoon. You've got to admit that really Ivor Matthews has done the same thing. They take the A final. That concludes the racing for this afternoon. On behalf of all the organisers here this afternoon, I know you've had to put up with my voice for a lot too many hours this afternoon, but I can only apologise for the delays. Obviously the interest of the riders injured is paramount in this sort of sport. We appreciate your support, and I know some of you are obviously having to dash off. I do want to say a very big-hearted thank you to you all that donated to the helmet collection for Steve Schofield. Because unbelievably you have started this fund off in a most tremendous way. This afternoon you have donated over £750 towards the cost of that operation for Stevie Schofield. I really, really do. Personally, on behalf of Steve, thank you all very much for your donations this afternoon. When that came across on the radio to me earlier on this afternoon, I was absolutely gobsmacked, and that is tremendous, and I thank you personally, all of you that have donated to that collection. We know that he was all loved by you in the sport, and I think you've just proved it yet again this afternoon. There will be a presentation, as I mentioned, but before that, let's give you the official result of the 1000cc right-hand sidecar final. So, for those of you that keep your programmes 100%, you should have number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles as winners of the right-hand sidecar final. Number 4, James Rodgers and Damien Janes as second. Number 19, that is Malcolm Simmons and Dave Hogan in third. In fourth place, number 17, Dave Steer and John Richards. Fifth place, number 92, Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. The winning time, 1:27.64. 61.24 was the average speed. 1:27.64, 61.24. And whilst I've thanked you all for your patience this afternoon, I think we ought to thank the beautiful young ladies who have been out here entertaining me this afternoon and keeping me going. The 4 that were on the start line, well done girls, they had a bit of glamour, and I hope you're going to be back here for the International. Why not? Great big round of applause for them. Right, been out there all afternoon in the boiling hot sunshine waiting for all these riders to come up. So, now, if we start from the left-hand end of the table, hopefully they should all be in order. And as I suppose they say in all best game shows, if my able assistant is able to keep up with me, then we should be all right. Oh, look, calling for Dad to come and help, eh? Yeah, I know. Well, I stepped one further down. Right. It says, the way they're laid out, that we're going to start with the pre-75. So, hopefully you guys have had time to get changed, load the bikes and everything. So we just need to get you up here to collect your trophies. And I think you'll agree, big circuit for the pre-75s. They've done tremendously well this afternoon. Finishing in third place, Tony Davey. Look at that, he's getting prompted now. All you've got to do is give him the cup and give him a kiss. Now these guys are polite. Wait till it gets a little bit later on. Right. Finishing in second. Tremendous riding indeed, Peter Baker. Well done indeed to second place Peter Baker. But the overall winner, a very determined ride all afternoon. First. Overall winner, Malcolm Simmons. I knew I was going to get that one written down wrong. Well done, Malcolm. Do you know, I damn near called him a Simmons then. For some reason, that was lucky, wasn't it? Right, or indeed. We move on to the 350 event, as they are lined up there, and hopefully the riders have got their way over here. I think you'll agree they've managed to, as a club, get a very good lineup of 350 riders. It was a tough competition all afternoon. Tremendous final it turned out to be. Finishing in third, John Cox. Yeah, he's making his way over here. Well done, John. That's the important one, the one with the trophy. Well, hopefully a big round of applause for our second place finisher, because he's a bit of a local man, Vince Kinchin. Well done indeed, Vince. But the one man he couldn't catch, who was very quick out there this afternoon, a tremendous ride from Jamie Rodgers. Well, I've got to ask you, Jamie, don't rush off, Jamie. I want a quick word with you, because first question is, first time here at Tunbridge?
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, though?
Yeah.
Now, look, you're doing an impression of a sidecar driver here. I expect to get sensible answers from you solo boys. Very quick track. Long way to come down here, but I hope we're going to see you again.
Yeah.
Thanks. Right, next time you come, if you're going to do the winning, you've got to think of something to say when you come up here. So, it says that we're going to move on to the third awards, which is 500cc solo, if all the cups are in the right order. We start with, I think you'll agree, by saying that the 500cc class, whilst they got it all together during the weeks before the meeting, turned out to be very, very even, a tough fought competition, but one or two were just that little head and shoulders in head. But battling in there all the time, finishing third overall, Mark Giles. Well done indeed, Mark. But I think a very big round of applause for this next rider. He's down here quite often helping to keep this track going. I know he's repaired a lot of boards. It looks as if he's now got one to repair that he damaged himself. It's tremendous to see him back up on the bike though and back out there fighting in second place. 500cc solo, Mitch Godden. Well done indeed, Mitch. A tough tumble.
I was thinking of Scurry. I could see it all again, to be fair.
Well, I was disappointed to see David go out of the final, but have you heard anything over in the pits about him?
Yeah, I think he's a bit bruised and stuff, you know, and he got off before I did. He could see it coming, so. But I think he's alright and his bike looks okay, so.
Well, tremendous. Well done indeed to get back out there fighting again. Cheers, Mitch. So, one more rider we've got to get up here for the 500cc solo. He collects first place. I know he's been here before. A tremendous ride once again from Andrew Appleton. Well, I've got to ask you, Andrew, success again. You look to be enjoying this circuit.
Yeah, I was enjoying it today. The track was very slick and dusty, but you know, it's proof of some good racing, and eventually we got the day over.
Well, we did. I know it was a long day, but really sitting around in the pits waiting like that, you know, you just want to get out there racing, don't you? It was tremendous to see you in that sort of form.
Yeah, that's right. When all the crashes and that were happening, I was falling asleep. You know, it's draining me. But yeah, I made a bad start in the final, but went round them in the first turn, and you know, I was enjoying it after that.
Well, let's hope for a big invitation now to the International down here later in the year, yep?
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
Well, I hope so indeed. The winner this afternoon of the 500 solo, Andrew Appleton. So, it says on my list that we now go to presentation 4, which is 1000cc right-hand side cars. Very, very pleased indeed to call up here, finishing in third place, youngsters that... well, I've got to say, I've got quite a lot of experience because he rode for so many years as a passenger. But great to see him going well as a driver. A few dodgy moments this afternoon. But finishing in third overall, Malcolm Simmons and Dave Hogan. Well, it's nice to see some of the younger talent picking up the trophies, and I very guardedly say that because we've got also another young crew coming up. They finished in second place, and I do feel this is probably one of the best rides I've seen them have here at Tunbridge. Tremendous to see James Rodgers and Damien James. And indeed, as they make their way up here and collect the awards, I do hope this is the start of things to come for the future. But of course, we have got the winners to call up here, who I know have got a great deal of experience. They've been here many, many times before. I won't remind them too quickly of all the disasters they've had in the past. We've had broken chains, we've had engines blow up, you name it, they've had it. Almost, but not quite. This afternoon, they've managed to do it again, though. 1000cc winners, Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles.
Well, I've got to ask you, Ivor, because I know I've been around the sidecar speedway just recently, and that's really where all the sidecar concentration has been. But great to get back here again at Tunbridge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the speedway we've done has helped, because I mean, in the last 5 weeks we've probably done about 7 or 8 speedway meetings, and it's like, you know, the solo boys, when they're riding 2 or 3 times a week, it just helps you get race fit. And I think that's probably shown today, although the track was in superb condition today, and we just had one of those days where just no dramas at all for us, which hasn't always been the case, as you just reminded me. But no, it's good today.
Very good indeed, and Tony, a quick word, because I know you enjoy the speedway, but this is a superb track, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. I absolutely love riding here. You know, the competition's good and everything, and you know, they kept the track well today, despite the weather and being dusty and that, and I've enjoyed it, yeah.
Enjoyed it, you should. Looking forward to the International now, and not forgetting the Masters next week.
Yeah, of course, you know, do the best we can, and hopefully we can get some more results.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to the Masters next week, but for this afternoon, your overall winners of the 1000cc sidecar, Ida Matthews and Tony Miles. So I think, oh God, I've done it again, haven't I? I've got 2 number 4s. Anyway, right, we'll move on to the 500cc sidecar, and I know we're going to have to get used to these boys being here. I hope that they're going to invite a few more of their international characters that we've got over there in Holland and Germany to come over and show you exactly what this sport is all about. But you've seen some of the best this afternoon that we've got here in the UK, and I'm very pleased to see what was told to me earlier on as being an absolute novice in the chair. 3rd place for Andy Currison and Dave Johnson. Well done indeed, guys. So they take 3rd place Andy Currison and Dave Johnson. And whilst you start with a passenger that rode for the very first time, how many times have these guys ridden? Finishing in 2nd, once again, Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. Well, of course, the 2nd place this afternoon for Brian Palmer and Danny Hogg. And before I really call up the winners this afternoon, I've got to say that there was a little bit of a wish said to me earlier on this afternoon for these guys that have won the event overall. I think you'll agree they are in absolutely tremendous form. The whole crew this afternoon wants to wish these guys the very best for their European final next weekend, and I think all our thoughts go with them as well, because the winners this afternoon are Lewis Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. Not any relation by any chance, eh? Well, I'm going to ask a quick word, because it was mentioned to me about this Euro final. I know you were out in Holland yesterday. Really is going well in Europe for you. What seriously are your chances for next week?
We're as good as any other body, you know. There's 12 of us out there, and we're all keyed up to have a go. And it's not a big track, so it's 5 good starts, and you know, confidence is high, and we're going to have a go.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to have to get some phone numbers before we go tonight, because whilst I'm up there at the Masters, I want to know what happens with this Euro final. Because I've got to really ask, when you're keying yourself up for these big European tracks and everything else, it must be nice to come back here with a home crowd.
Yeah, it's good to race on a circuit like this, you know. This is probably as good as a track that you're going to get abroad, you know. It's a perfect track for 500 sidecar racing. It's good to have them here, and you can really have a go here, and there's good riders here, and hopefully, you know, for the bonfire burn-up, we're going to get some better riders and have a real good go.
Excellent. Well, that's what we want to see, and I won't let you run off without having a word, Andrew. Pleased with this afternoon's... Oh, well, this is going to be another one of them, isn't it? Pleased with this afternoon's performance.
Yeah, happy with everything. The track was brilliant. We rode good again, and hopefully next weekend our luck's there as well.
Well, I think we'll all keep our fingers crossed for you next weekend. Well done this afternoon. The winners of the 500 sidecar, Lewis Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. So if I want to run the risk of upsetting everybody, what are they for? Right, we've got one more class to go, of course. I do take my life in my hands sometimes and say that we've got the left-hand sidecars left to be presented. But what I've got to say first of all is hands up to these guys. That was a tremendous final. And when it started, I would not have predicted this sort of result. But we've ended up within third place. Tremendous performance this afternoon. Martin Goodwin and Colin Clark. Well done indeed, guys. Third place, Martin Goodwin and Colin Clark. Well, a tremendous ride also in second place. He came to the final with 2 outright wins in his heats. I thought he was going to do it at one time, but he was trying a few tactics I think that might be argued went wrong. Finishing in second overall, Steve Maitland and Dave Holland. Well done, guys. And indeed, we've just got the 2 more cups left for the left-hand sidecar final winners. Was it a tactical ride? Did he take his opportunities when they were presented to him? Whatever it was, he got across the line first. It was, of course, Tony Penfold and Carl Bell. So it's almost the final word this afternoon, Tony, because I know you guys have tried for so many years to get onto this circuit. It does suit your machines, doesn't it?
Yeah, as long as it's not too wet, because you just, coming out the corners, you haven't got a passenger on the back wheel like you have with right-handed. So you're lacking on grip all the time, so you're just fighting with it. And just hope you get enough grip to come out the corners quick.
Well, hoping to get enough grip, but I think the one thing about that final was there was a bit of an opportunity presented itself and you took it with both hands.
Yeah, well, I watched them for a few laps, and I see them pushing each other out and pushing and pushing, and I thought they must know I'm here. And I looked and I thought, no, they don't, so I just went.
Well, when indeed you did, and if I could just bring you in quickly, Carl, did you understand what he was thinking?
Yeah, same again, I kept watching and I kept screaming at him to keep in tight, and luckily enough he did, so yeah, it was a good ride.
Good ride and a great result.
Yeah, it's always nice to win down here.
Absolutely right, and it's great to see you guys down here again competing like that. I think you agree with me, a tremendous final for the 1000C left-handers. The overall winners, Tony Penfold and Carl Bell. Well, there is just one more thing that I want to pass on to you before you all leave. I know there's not many of us left now, but I've just had a little whisper in my ear that I said earlier on, for our old friend Scully, there was 750 quid raised. I've just been told it's just topped £1,000. So you have started that fund off brilliantly. From the heart, I am thanking you all very much indeed, because I don't think when I was first told about this afternoon, I would have expected to raise that sort of money. Thank you very much indeed, and we hope that it's going to continue to grow and Scully will be back on his feet without pain very, very shortly. Just remains to me to say that I hope the beer tent hasn't shut before I go. And I hope I'm going to see you at Grasstrack very soon. Have a very safe journey home.
last minute, as I believe that's Andrew Appleton that's got himself to the front. Further back there. But at the moment, it is Andrew Appleton that is stamping his authority. He wants this one. He goes into the last lap. Who has made the best of it? Ivor Matthews on the inside, perhaps, is just nosing in front. James Rodgers is on the outside of him. He's in second, but only just. Trying to get clear of the dust and get round into at least third place. Malcolm Simmons looks over his shoulder. James Rodgers in the spot. Still the battle rages for fourth place, though. Dave Steer moves up into that fourth place, but as we see the checkered flag go for the last final of the day, it's Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles that get it. James Rodgers and Damien James get second. Miles Simmons and Dave Hogan get third place. This afternoon of the 500 solo, Andrew Appleton. Your overall winners of the 1000cc sidecar, Ivor Matthews and Tony Miles. Afternoon, the winners of the 500 sidecar, Lester Goodwin and Andrew Stevens. Just final for the 1000c left-handers, your overall winners, Tony Penfold and Carl Bell.